think it's just something different. I mean, there's a lot of truckers around, but they're mostly doing.
On the smash hit reality series Ice Road Truckers, Lisa Kelly was more than just a driver. She was a full-blown phenomenon. In a world of grizzled veterans, brutal Arctic conditions, and constant danger, she emerged as a symbol of impossible grit and quiet fearlessness. Week after week, millions of us were glued to our screens, watching her conquer the world's most treacherous roads, from the shifting ice of the Dalton Highway to the terrifying cliffside passes of the Himalayas. She wasn't just trying to survive in a man's world, she was dominating it, proving her skill with every perfectly handled blizzard and every ton of critical cargo she delivered. Her calm focus under pressure and her unshakable competence made her a household name and a true inspiration. Fans didn't just see a trucker, they saw a hero, but the battles you saw on camera were nothing compared to the heartbreaking tragedy she faced when the cameras stopped rolling. The public image of the unbreakable ice road queen was hiding a private reality of devastating loss and the cruel weight of unfounded rumors that threatened to break her spirit. This is the untold story of how the shocking death of her closest partner and the poison of public speculation tested her in ways the deadliest roads never could. The real fight for Lisa Kelly wasn't against the ice, it was a fight for her own peace in the wake of unimaginable grief. To really get the weight of the tragedies that would later define her life, you first have to understand the incredible heights Lisa Kelly reached. Her journey to stardom was as unlikely as it was inspiring. Born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, her life took a sharp turn when her family moved to a small farm in Sterling, Alaska, when she was just 6 years old. That early immersion in the rugged, demanding Alaskan lifestyle planted the seeds of the resilience that would later captivate millions. Far from the typical life of a young girl, Lisa was drawn to things that required grit and a little bit of danger. She was a self-described tomboy, most comfortable on a motocross bike, a passion she got so good at that she eventually became an Alaska state champion. A thirst for adventure meant a traditional path was never really in the cards. After just one semester at Cornerstone University in Michigan, she felt the pull of Alaska and a life less ordinary. She knew a 9-to-5 job wasn't for her, she craved the freedom of the open road. Her first jobs were all about driving, delivering pizzas, working for a bakery, and even getting behind the wheel of a school bus. Each one proved her future was on the road, but she was dreaming bigger than local deliveries. She wanted to drive the massive rigs that were the lifeblood of the Alaskan economy. Breaking into professional trucking, though, was a huge challenge. It was, and still largely is, a world dominated by men, many of whom were skeptical that a young woman could handle the job. Lisa faced rejection after rejection. But she didn't give up. She kept knocking on doors until one finally opened at Carlisle Transportation, a major Alaskan haulage company. Getting the job was just the first step. Once she was in, she knew she was under a microscope. She later said, "I had to work twice as hard. I had to pull my weight and everybody else's and get the job done as fast, or faster." She was determined to prove she was a capable, serious trucker, not a novelty. Some critics and even colleagues suggested she was only hired for her looks. In a shocking revelation years later, she said she wasn't even paid for her first few years on Ice Road Truckers, which shows how differently the producers might have seen her value at first, but Lisa's work ethic spoke louder than any of the doubts. She wasn't just doing the job, she was excelling at it, taking on the legendary Dalton Highway, a terrifying 414-mile road of ice and gravel that connects to the Prudhoe Bay oil fields. This is where the producers of the History Channel's breakout hit, Ice Road Truckers, found her. When the show moved from Canada to Alaska for its third season in 2009, they discovered a natural star. Lisa Kelly wasn't a manufactured TV personality, she was the real deal, already living the dangerous life the show wanted to document. As the only female driver on the cast, she immediately stood out. Audiences were captivated by her unique blend of toughness and humility. She didn't have the loud, boisterous bravado of some of her male co-stars, she just let her driving do the talking. Viewers watched in awe as she expertly guided her 18-wheeler across frozen lakes, with the sound of cracking ice as a constant, terrifying soundtrack. One of her most memorable moments came in Season 3, an incident that cemented her reputation. While navigating the treacherous Adigan Pass, she had to pull her massive truck just inches from the edge of a sheer cliff to let two other trucks pass safely. One wrong move would have been a catastrophe, but her calm precision saved the day. It was raw, unscripted, and genuinely life-threatening moments like these that made her a fan favorite. Her fame exploded. The show launched a spin-off, IRT, Deadliest Roads, sending its most popular drivers to face even greater challenges. Lisa showcased her elite skills on a global stage, tackling the infamous Death Road in Bolivia and the high-altitude, unstable cliffside roads of the Indian Himalayas. These were entirely new and terrifying dangers, but she met them with the same quiet competence. Her popularity was undeniable. She made appearances on talk shows and was even named the sexiest trucker alive by Esquire magazine, a title she found pretty amusing, but behind the fame and on-screen success, a different story was taking shape. The pressure, the danger, and the public scrutiny were building. And a partnership was forming that would bring her incredible joy, only to be followed by the most profound tragedy of her life. As Lisa's star rose, she found a kindred spirit in another of the show's breakout personalities, Daryl Ward. Known as the Montana Legend, Daryl joined the cast in Season 6 and quickly became a fan favorite for his no-nonsense attitude and competitive fire. He was a force to be reckoned with on the ice. While they were initially rivals on the show, a deep bond formed between them, built on mutual respect and a shared passion for the trucking life. This friendship grew into a powerful professional partnership. In 2015, they took a huge leap, leaving their companies to form their own trucking business, a venture they would co-own and operate on the show. For viewers, their partnership was a highlight. The dynamic between the calm, focused Lisa and the boisterous, risk-taking Daryl was electric. They were a perfect team. In interviews, Lisa spoke about Daryl with incredible affection, calling him her big brother. She shared a story that summed up their relationship perfectly. While struggling to tie down a load, they were both bouncing on a winch bar until it finally snapped shut, sending them both tumbling into the snow, laughing. "It's just fun," she said. "It's just a blast." Their friendship was real, a bright spot in the high-stress world of ice road trucking. The partnership was thriving. They appeared together at the Great American Trucking Show in Dallas in late August 2016, just days before the unthinkable happened. Lisa was there, speaking fondly of her partner and their business, completely unaware of the devastating news that was about to turn her world upside down. On August 28, 2016, Daryl Ward was a passenger in a small, single-engine Cessna 182. He was on his way to Missoula, Montana, to begin filming a pilot for a new documentary about recovering plane wrecks, a tragic, cruel irony. As the plane, piloted by Mark Malotz, tried to land at a small airstrip, witnesses said something went drastically wrong. The plane seemed to stall before crashing into a stand of trees and erupting in flames. Daryl Ward and the pilot were killed instantly. Daryl was only 52. The news sent a shockwave through the ice road truckers community. But for Lisa Kelly, it was a personal cataclysm. She had lost her business partner, her mentor, and her dear friend. Her grief was silent but deep. In a simple, heartbreaking tribute, she changed her Facebook profile picture to an image of red and black buffalo plaid, the pattern of Daryl's signature flannel shirt. The emotional toll was immense, but it was compounded by an immediate professional crisis. The trucking company they had poured their hearts into now rested entirely on her shoulders. In an interview after his death, Lisa's pain was obvious. "It was sad," she said. "It didn't really hit me until I went back there and I didn't have my partner. It also put a lot of pressure on me to get things done because Daryl usually took care of a lot of things. Suddenly, she was alone." Grieving a terrible loss while facing the overwhelming task of keeping their dream alive. As if losing Daryl Ward wasn't enough to bear, Lisa soon found herself at the center of a different kind of nightmare, a bizarre and cruel ordeal born from the dark side of internet fame. This chapter began a few years earlier, when she took a much-needed break from the show. In 2012, after back-to-back seasons of Ice Road Truckers and IRT, Deadliest Roads, Lisa chose not to return for season 6. The producers confirmed she was offered a contract but had decided to take a year off to focus on her personal life. It was an understandable decision. The constant travel, the risks, and the pressure of being a public figure had taken a toll. But her absence created a void, and online forums and social media quickly filled it with speculation. Fans just wanted to know where their favorite female trucker had gone. It was during this time that a horrifying rumor started to spread: Lisa Kelly was dead. The morbid falsehood spread like wildfire, all because of a tragic case of mistaken identity. Around the same time, an American actress named Lisa Robin Kelly, known for her role on That 70s Show, had sadly passed away. The shared name was enough to spark a wave of confusion. Some media outlets failed to do their homework, and soon reports were circulating that led many to believe the star of Ice Road Truckers was the one who had died. For Lisa and her family, it was a surreal and deeply upsetting experience. While trying to find some peace and privacy, she was being mourned publicly. The emotional toll of having to constantly debunk these rumors, to reassure friends, family, and fans that she was still alive, was significant. It was an invasive and emotionally draining ordeal that came at a time when she was already feeling burned out. Lisa finally put the rumors to rest by returning to Ice Road Truckers for season 7 in 2013. Her reappearance was a relief to her loyal fans and a silent rebuke to the gossip mill. But the experience left a scar. It forced her to confront the bizarre and often cruel reality of being famous. Balancing the pressures of her career with the fallout from the death rumors and, later, the very real death of her partner, Daryl, created a perfect storm of adversity. These twin tragedies, one a false rumor, the other an all-too-real loss, tested her resilience in ways no frozen lake ever could. After Daryl Ward's death, Lisa Kelly was left facing a world of grief and uncertainty. The vibrant partnership that had defined her recent years was gone, leaving a huge void. Daryl had been the engine of their company, the one who hustled for loads and pushed the limits. Now, all of that fell to Lisa. She pressed on, determined to honor Daryl's legacy and the dream they built together. The following season of Ice Road Truckers, season 11, saw Lisa running the company on her own at first. The pressure was immense. Every decision was a reminder of his absence. She later brought on Daryl's son, Daryl Ward, to help, a move that brought a piece of Daryl's legacy back into the company. She said working with Reno was a positive experience, noting how much he had matured and how knowledgeable he'd become. Together, they kept the company Daryl co-founded running through the winter season, but the soul of the business was gone. Running a trucking company is tough under the best of circumstances, but doing so without one of its founders proved to be an uphill battle. The company, which was mainly a winter road operation, struggled to keep the momentum it had with Daryl. While Lisa gave it her all, the combination of industry pressures and the irreplaceable loss of her partner meant the grand vision they shared was tragically cut short. Professionally, Lisa began to pivot. The show itself ended its run in 2017 after 11 seasons, marking the end of an era. For Lisa, it was a chance to redefine her life on her own terms. Away from production crews, she didn't disappear, she just changed lanes. She remained a respected figure in the trucking community, attending trade shows in the US and the UK, where the show had a huge following. She also deepened her partnership with Chevron Lubricants, becoming a brand ambassador. This led to a 16-part YouTube documentary series called Destination, Further, which ran from 2018 to 2020. The series gave fans a more authentic look into her life. It showed her hauling freight, rescuing and caring for her beloved horses, and even operating an excavator on her property. It was a portrait of the complete Lisa Kelly, a woman of incredible skill, grit, and a deep love for her animals and her Alaskan home. After the invasive rumors and public grief, this move toward creating her own content on YouTube and Facebook allowed her to connect with her audience directly. She started sharing vlogs and updates about her day-to-day life, the -40-degree hauls, quiet moments with her horses, and truck maintenance tips. It was her way of taking back control of her own story. Years after the final season of Ice Road Truckers and after the dust from her personal tragedies began to settle, fans still ask the same question: what is Lisa Kelly doing now? The answer is both simple and reassuring: she's still trucking. She never left the profession that made her famous, she just chose to do it away from the TV cameras. As of 2024 and 2025, Lisa continues to work as a long-haul trucker in Alaska. She has been reported to work for a logistics company, driving the demanding route between Kenai and Prudhoe Bay, a grueling 1,500-mile round trip. She drives a Freightliner Coronado 122 SD, a powerful rig built for the state's toughest roads. This isn't a ceremonial role. It's the hard, solitary work of a professional trucker, providing essential services to Alaska's industries. Just like she always has, her personal life has been an anchor. She remains happily married to her husband, Travis Kelly, whom she wed in 2008. Travis, a fellow Alaskan who shares her love for motocross, has been a quiet, constant source of support. They live a relatively low-profile life in Wasilla, Alaska. While the couple has no children, their home is filled with the animals that are such a central part of her life. Her passion for rescuing and caring for horses has been a therapeutic constant. Lisa also maintains an active presence on social media. Her Facebook page has nearly 1 million followers, and she occasionally posts updates on her YouTube channel, sharing photos from an icy highway or videos of her horses. It's a direct and genuine connection with the audience that has followed her for over a decade. While she has stepped away from reality TV, she hasn't shut the door completely. She has said she might be open to returning if the right project came along, viewing the Ice Road Truckers era as being on a long hiatus rather than officially over. For now, Lisa Kelly has found her balance. She has managed to preserve the core of who she is, a skilled trucker with an adventurous spirit, while shedding the heavy skin of a reality TV star. She has navigated the treacherous roads of fame, endured the gut-wrenching pain of loss, and emerged on the other side, not unscathed, but whole. The story of Lisa Kelly is so much more complex than the one-dimensional picture of a fearless trucker the cameras once painted. Hers is a story of profound resilience, a journey through the highest peaks of fame and the deepest valleys of personal tragedy. On screen, she was an icon of strength who broke barriers in a man's world. She inspired millions with her quiet confidence, becoming one of the most beloved figures in reality TV, but behind the scenes, a different story was unfolding. The shocking death of her friend and business partner, Daryl Ward, wasn't a plot point. It was a devastating personal blow that left her grieving and struggling to carry their shared dream alone. The bizarre and cruel rumors of her own death weren't just gossip, they were a profound violation that took a serious emotional toll. These challenges tested her will to survive in ways no ice-covered road ever could, yet, Lisa Kelly endured. She pushed through the grief, honoring her friend's memory by continuing the work they loved. She rose above the rumors, reclaiming her own story and choosing a life of greater privacy and authenticity. She never quit trucking, she just redefined her relationship with the public, trading TV crews for a direct connection with her fans. Today, Lisa Kelly continues to thrive, not as a reality star, but as a professional trucker, a wife, and an animal lover living a life of purpose in her beloved Alaska. Her journey is a powerful reminder that the hardest roads are often the ones we travel inside ourselves. It's the story of a woman who conquered the world's most dangerous highways, but whose greatest victory was navigating the heartbreaking terrain of loss and emerging with her spirit intact. She remains a true inspiration, not just for her courage behind the wheel, but for her profound strength in the face of life's greatest tragedies. What are your favorite memories of Lisa Kelly on Ice Road Truckers? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story inspiring, be sure to like and subscribe for more in-depth stories about the stars you thought you knew.